Hello everyone and welcome to episode 57 of GuildGab. This is a show all about Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, and today we're going to be discussing the launch of Heart of Thorns and everything that entails, all the new systems, as well as Halloween, which we got on the same day, new gem store items, all that stuff. We are not going to be talking about the story today, so if you're joining us on YouTube, please know that we are going to try to keep this spoiler-free as far as the story goes, so you should be safe to watch. We may be talking about the maps, so if you don't even want to know anything about the other maps, everybody has a different level of spoiler, what they consider spoilers. So there's your spoiler alert for today. Anyway, I am joined today by my wonderful co-hosts, MMO Inks, Alex of the RPG Shack, and Corvus Plays.
Hello.
Hi guys. How we doing? What a week it's been.
So,
hey?
Indeed. My sleep schedule is just about back to normal.
Yeah, same here.
I think I stayed up till
been a rough week.
5 a.m. on launch day. Had my slumber party and watched all the ArenaNet live streams. 5 hours! They streamed
crazy.
for 5 hours. I was not expecting that at all.
That's the way you launch a game, right?
Yeah. Oh,
launch
man.
Launch was amazing.
It's pretty damn smooth as well.
Yeah.
I lost track of days because of the double Friday thing, and then
Yes.
I didn't. I think I lost track of days. Let's just say
I did too. I did.
it was like 2 o'clock on a Saturday, and I was like, "Tea time, guys? Are we doing tea time today?" And they're like, "Dude, it's Saturday. Relax. It's tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh."
Because
Wow,
you were sending me messages about tea time. I was like,
yeah.
"Did you do it tomorrow?"
Oh man, I totally lost a day because of the double Friday.
Yep. I did the same thing all weekend. I was like, what day is it? I have no idea. Like, what day? Is it D&D tonight? Is it D&D Saturday? I have no idea. What day is
You're like,
it?
"No, I'm not doing D&D tonight. I've got a Heart of Thorns to
I've got
play."
too much Heart of Thorns to do, guys. Sorry.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was. I've got to say, 5 hours was a lot of stuff.
It was a hell of a lot of stuff.
I mean, for us over in the UK, it did start at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Which, as
I
much
was
as I
there.
love you, Annette, I value my sleep more. And
Casual.
I know. I was up at 6:30 to kind of watch the last little bit and have a shower and get ready for launch.
You had to watch Colin push the button, right?
Well, exactly.
Well, no, because Twitch crashed.
Oh no.
Yeah, it screwed up for me as well. I missed half
Really?
of Mike O'Brien's speech.
Oh, really?
I was hosting them or whatever, but I missed half of Mike O'Brien's speech. I did see the button press and all that kind of stuff, but I missed half of that speech, which was a shame because he gave a really nice, touching speech to the players, to the employees.
Yeah.
And I have to say, even though it was 5 hours long, ArenaNet kept the pace really brisk. It didn't seem like, oh, I'm waiting for the next thing to come, right? It was always like, okay, and here's the next thing, and it was. It wasn't like you were waiting around waiting for stuff to happen. It was just.
It was great.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice how everyone got progressively more drunk as the stream went on?
That was the background noise, got louder and louder.
I think I think they pulled Lena in front of the camera about 45 minutes before launch, and she was absolutely trolleyed. And so, I think it might have been Liz Kirstein or Ruby who was asking her questions, and she was like, "What?
What?" That's great. I think the most pressing thing that came out of that 5 hour live stream, they only have 2 toasters. There are 2 Guild Wars 2 toasters in existence.
Really?
2.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Actually, I'm lying.
Well, there's 2 in their office, I think they said.
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
it's got to be
Oh,
a bit
is that
of
what they
a
said?
breakfast, hasn't it? Everyone's there waiting for their Guild Wars 2 toast.
Just a big line of people.
And
Can't get any work done until I get my Guild Wars 2 toast.
If it toasts.
If it toasts.
You have to use white bread.
If it's just a model.
That's gonna be a new. That's gonna be a new show for them. Will it toast? They'll put different things in the
breads,
toaster.
Put a Guild Wars 2 game box in there. Will it toast? Oh my god.
And then Peter Freeze was tweeting out all the pictures of like the different signed things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
like,
amazing.
oh my gosh, give me.
They decorated the office, and that was so amazing.
So good.
Oh my gosh. But seriously, the best thing to come out of it, Quaggan plushie.
Oh, for God's sake.
Like, official Quaggan plushie. It's not
T-shirts
pink.
as well, dude.
I want a pink
I
one.
don't know if-
The
And,
t-shirts,
yeah. Profession t-shirts.
T-shirts are cool.
If you think back to early GuildGab and all of me begging for T-shirts all the time,
There you go.
I know we have T-shirts now.
Well, because like
I know.
years and years ago, they used to have there were fairly similar Guild Wars 1 T-shirts, and they had like a color, and they had like the symbol for the class like here, and then something down the arms, and like just to see that they've got that back, and it had the new Alien Engineer icons on it as well, which was
Nice. Yeah.
really nice to see. The Guardian one looks really sweet. Love it.
Good call.
Sure.
At least
Make
it's
more
something,
t-shirts.
right? At least it's
Yeah.
something. Like merch.
We're getting there.
Like,
Right,
come
yes.
on.
I know we got merch.
Take our
It's a
money.
good stepping stone.
Take our
So-
money, ArenaNet. Like, more merch. Come on, give me a pink Quaggan. Pink Quaggan.
That plushie looks huge too. He doesn't look.
It was.
Yeah.
It was big.
Yeah. I know
Quaggan
Aurora lost her mind when she seen the. the
I
plushie.
screamed into the mic.
That
Don't.
was
If you
amazing.
watch my
You
highlight,
you
make sure you're not
properly
using
screamed.
headphones because I screamed. That was the last thing I was expecting. I was like, Quaggan plushie.
You were talking
what?
about the pink one that they had like on
They
set.
had a,
for, like,
a big
the whole
pink one
stream.
and then like a tinier one, and they were
And
so
you were talking
cute.
about it
Teddy
for
is like
ages.
holding them, and they were so cute. I was like, I want those plushies.
So good.
So cute.
But yes, so the game itself, there was
They said it was the smoothest launch in Guild Wars history.
yeah, it was
No other release was as smooth.
It
was
was awesome. Like you logged on and bam, you were in.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, the original Guild Wars 2 launch. They start. I think it was started up about 3 hours before it was supposed to go live. But when the new build thing came and the oh bloody hell, what's it called? The client had changed to like green. And then you see everyone in Twitter losing their minds.
It's green!
It's green! Oh my god, it's green! And then you log in and everyone in guild chat's like, oh my god, it's green!
Well, and the new music too, right?
The new,
theme.
I'm
the new
so happy the
the new
character
login
select
screen
screen
and stuff, too.
changed. I'm so happy.
Looks so good.
Because they've always done that with every release. Guild Wars 1, every release, the background changed, the music changed, so you have this new, this atmosphere that it's new. And I'm so glad they did that. And I love it's a tiny little touch, but the interface fading away.
When it fades away.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's such
Amazing.
a nice touch.
Well, and one of the
I was-
things that I had complained about in the past was that I always had to search. Like, this is not an issue anymore for me because I deleted those guys. But I would have to search around for who had what professions. And now it shows you, like, on your character
Yeah.
log, okay, this guy's a cook and an armor smith and whatever, right?
That's a
I
nice,
love
yeah,
that.
that's
I
a nice
love that
touch. It's a nice touch.
It's good.
Now,
It's
if they
good.
would add hover over it to see your inventory bags and what that character's holding, that would be OP. That would be it would be OP. That's why it's a hover.
Something
Could
they
you just
definitely
play the
need to
game
add.
from the login screen? Is that what we want?
When you have 15 characters, it gets hard to remember who has what.
9
No.
maximum. Although you don't for the flax farm, which we're probably going to talk about in a little while.
Oh.
There's a simple solution for all those characters, you know. You can just
You just delete
Doing
them.
inks and delete
Doing inks.
everything.
Pulling
They
inks.
I still think though they should add back pieces to the character select. I think that's super necessary. I want to see my weapons. I
yeah.
want to see my back pieces. Like when I'm looking at my characters, man, that'd be cool.
That's a good point. Yeah.
you just want to see Frostfang before you log in.
Yeah, but I just wouldn't close character select. I'd just leave it open.
It's just your wallpaper.
Fade out.
I tell you what, Astralaria has got some. Frostfang's got competition there, bud.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think it does.
I don't think so, man.
Well, let's be honest. It's Galaxy and an axe. You know.
Yeah,
not
but Frostfang is just it's Frostfang. There's not really much else I can say about it.
He
That's
has
all
a
I need to
mini
say,
plush
really.
Frostfang, for
Frostfang.
goodness sake. I mean, come on.
But yes, so what did you guys do when you got in? Did you start your Revenant, or did you take your existing characters and dive in?
I went straight for the story. That was the first thing I did.
Same. I took my my Sylvari Guardian, who over the past couple weeks, I had prepared, and took her, into Silver Wastes and did the first couple story instances and went into the jungle. I did have a little bit of connectivity problems trying to get into some of the first instances, but that was 15 minutes after launch, so I don't blame him at all.
I made my Revenant. I leveled it. And then I spent about 2 hours looking at the new weapon skins in Wardrobe on stream. It was probably not the best use of my time. But on the other hand, people were saying they couldn't get the first story to work or it wouldn't take or something for them.
Yeah.
So by the time I got around to it, 2 hours later, I didn't have any
No
problems. So
It patched out 3 or 4 times by then, hadn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, after looking at I looked at collections and I looked at weapons and I tried to too much to digest really.
Yeah.
Just
I think the second day I went and I just started, I think I tweeted about it. I just started dressing one of my alts because I was so overwhelmed and I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm just going to go play dress up on my Mesmer.
yeah. Well, it was so great. I mean, I when I logged in and I created my Revenant and everyone's crowded around the banks and you heard the
oh my
all the terms of knowledge.
Oh my god!
And everyone just standing around
Flashes
seeing their
of light.
costumes change.
Having seizures because of all the blinking lights at your face, It's like
instant revenants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, weirdly, I kind of made my Revenant and dived straight in, which, in hindsight, was a bit of a mistake because I spent a lot of time dead last weekend. I probably should have just taken my Ranger, which is a class I actually know how to play. And
it wasn't too bad for me. I've been playing Jalashiro, so that gives me more tankiness, I guess. And I've been spending a lot more time on Hammer than I thought I would, just because it's easier to stay at ranged on things and not, commit yourself.
Right.
But by the time I got to the second map, I was in full melee mode. I was comfortable enough with the class where I was just, I don't even need Hammer anymore. Let me just run circles around you.
Yeah.
Right.
I ended up embracing the staff. Staff is love, staff is life.
Nice. I literally have not even used a staff yet, and it's been out for how many days?
It's so
I don't even own a staff.
I don't even have a Revenant yet, so.
so good. But yeah, I was just there on my Revenant, just happy to be dying, just so I could play my Revenant, and just kind of
Speaking of,
yeah.
how is the difficulty in the new maps? Do you guys think?
Before the nerf, it was good.
Yeah, basically.
I'm just the thing is, it's not supposed to be My Little Pony's Adventure Through the Jungle. It's end game content. It's supposed to be challenging. If you go into Ore, even on your own, unless you run into a group event or a champion, you're pretty okay on your own, and you can kind of sleepwalk your way through, or just because everything's a bit useless against you. What with your exotic gear and all the rest of it, and having bad guys that will properly ruin your day if you're not paying attention. Smoke scales piss me off. They're so good. They're so good, but they're really annoying.
Yeah.
And the Kotzel shadow dancers as well.
Oh my god, those shadow dancers are the bane of my existence.
Yeah, honestly, but the thing is, it should be challenging. It should be a step above what open world was in core Guild Wars 2. 100%. And when you see that some of the group events have been nerfed, like the champions. Although, to be fair, I did run in. There was one map I ran into it. I was following some guy around to do the story, and they opened up a hero challenge, and it was a group event to kill 2 champions or something, and they ran off and left me to die, which was so at least things like that are on timers. But I I've not had a chance to go back in because my internet's had issues in an evening. But the last time I was in, I really liked the fact that it was challenging and that if I kind of switched my brain off, I died pretty much.
Yeah. It made just generic fights, like actually fun and interesting, because you would get close to going down. And you have that tense moment of like, oh crap, like I need to do this and this, and you actually think about the little fights you have just with little mobs around the place. Pocket raptors.
Yeah, Pocket raptors are amazing.
They're easy to kill, but if you try and walk past them
on their own, they're easy to kill, and
in a group,
they're so easy to kill.
I'm running Wells and Reaper Shroud, so there's a lot of cleave and AoE stuff.
Spin to win
okay.
on Guardian. I just spin. I tag one. They all come near me. I just spin and swing a couple times, and they're all dead. I love Pocket Raptors.
They're great.
I did have an issue with Verdant Brink for the first week, at least for the first weekend. I really haven't been back to Verdant Brink to see if it's better now, but I kept getting that bug where I would be in a map almost by myself, and that sucked a lot because I couldn't do hero points. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do the events. It would be pushed to nighttime, and I'd be like, okay, where's the action happening at? And literally nobody is doing anything, and I'm like. This sucks. I hate this. But by the time I got to the second map, I seemed to be in a good map then, because at least I found other people doing stuff.
Yeah.
That first map for the first couple of days, and I know it was bugged, and ArenaNet's now since fixed it apparently on how it joins you or something.
Yeah.
But it was a rough couple of days. I
only really noticed that on the third map. And I just figured because it's so complicated that it's hard for people to group up in one place because everyone's just trying to get to wherever they're supposed to go.
Yeah. It took me like an hour to figure out how to get to like the second half of the map.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was good. I thought that the second map worked a lot better because the Protoss, the Exalted, you must construct additional pylons.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They're really, really cool. They're really, really cool, but Blizzard might want a word with you in a couple. Anyway, what I found about the second map was that the meta event seemed to make sure that everybody kind of came together at the end of it, which I didn't really get so much in the Verdant Brink. The final meta event has a very particular place that you need to be in.
Right.
And because there's that bit where you fly up to the canopy and you fight, you fight your various things. There's one particular boss who is like the end thing, and that is incredible.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, I don't think it's clear enough. The Patriarch Wyvern, yeah. And you fly around. It's on a really small platform.
I don't think I fought that.
It's incredible. It's down in the bottom right-hand corner, and when the helicopter
in the canopy, yeah.
Oh.
It's
is that the one that was in the beta?
No.
No.
It's this huge wyvern with it's got a breath attack that'll take you down in one hit, and then every 25% or so it phases, and the platform becomes insta-death if you stand on it.
You have to jump off.
You have to jump off. And all the while, there's adolescent wyverns flying around,
baby ones all over the place.
And then you have to find wyvern eggs and use updrafts to kind of get bomb the adult wyvern before you go back and fight it. It's so cool.
It's really good. It's really good.
Wow.
But the stuff I did find that as well. I was in a lot of maps where there weren't that many people, and obviously the mega server was having problems in the way it was, like you said, grouping people. But it meant even stuff like just getting those last few points of interest or vistas and stuff up in the canopy were just impossible because we could never defend well enough through the night for the helicopters to arrive to get us up there, which was a pain. But apparently that's been fixed now, so it should be fine. And the Auric Basin event as well, I think, I don't know, a lot of people weren't doing it. So I think it requires a lot of coordination that requires everyone basically to come in and contribute to each side. And a lot of people were just off doing their own thing, which is fine, obviously. But it was meaning I've still not seen that event succeed.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. The very first time I got into that map, a fellow guildmate of mine, Crescent, was like, "Hey, let's party up and let's run around together." So I said, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea." So it's like, oh, the meta event's happening. Let's go check it out. So we go there, and there must have been a coordinated team there already. And what's really funny about that is I've seen 2 or 3 names in chat directing people to do particular things. And I knew all those people from other guilds that I've been in. So then we were sort of trash-talking each other in map chat, which was funny. But we completed the event. The very first time I did the event, we completed it like 100% without any problems.
That's amazing.
So I didn't have any, I don't want to spoil the event, but I didn't have any of the stuff you need afterwards. So I just ran down there. There's a hero point down there. I got the hero point, which was nice. And then we went on to do our own thing. But afterwards, people were like, I hate this central event. People don't know what they're doing. They can't figure it out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We didn't have any problems with it. So I went back later. I went back later to do it with random people, and people were knocking. They weren't doing any of the mechanics properly. They're knocking stuff out of the way. And it's like now I understand.
I did want to say, with the bit that comes after the completion of the event, there is a vendor near the very first waypoint that you come into the Auric Basin who you can get the thing that you need without having the associated mastery.
Yeah, realize that afterwards.
Which they probably want to fix. But
I actually had...
event.
It's really good, it's really good. I had the exact same experience, but with the final map. In that massive, huge meta event that takes place in Dragon's Stand. I walked into the map, there was commander tags up, people were like, hey, we're just going to go for it. Complete pug map. No organization, no guilds running it, all the commanders didn't know each other, they were barely talking. And managed it, first try, to do the whole thing. To complete it.
Oh
and
my
everything.
god.
And it was, the fact that we were all pugs and we didn't really know what we were doing, there was a couple of people that kind of guessed the mechanics that we needed to do.
Right, because it's so new. People don't know the mechanics yet. Random pugs don't know the mechanics yet.
And we managed it, and this is, it was on the Sunday, so just 2 days after.
Wow.
So, obviously some people have done it, but, it was incredible. It was so tense and dramatic, but everyone was like, oh my god, because obviously no one had seen the boss before, and it was just this huge thing, and it was single-handedly the most exciting and dramatic, intense thing I've ever had in Guild Wars 2. It was incredible.
Oh wow.
And then I tried again later, and exactly like you, Winks. I was like, oh, it's easy, whatever. And nah, I failed.
I haven't done Dragon Stand. Dragon Stand? I haven't done Dragon Stand yet. I'll have to try and go do that tonight.
I did it this morning, and there was basically just one commander just running around and leading everyone to kill champs and do events. And then someone's like, aren't we supposed to do this? And they're like, yeah, well, we're going to fail it anyway, so let's just farm champs. I'm like, oh, dear. But, I at least got the gist of the event and what it means.
The final thing is just, it's gorgeous.
We didn't get anywhere near that.
Honestly,
anyway, I
would
don't want to say
recommend
too
everyone
much.
to go do it. Yeah, it's so good.
In general, in all of the new maps, you're right that the difficulty is not so high that you can't solo just random mobs that you come across, if you know what you're doing. But you can definitely tell that the AI is smarter.
100%.
Everything. Everything is much smarter.
People dodge.
Yep.
I do not appreciate that.
Yep. They have mechanics. Oh, the snipers! Oh my god. They have mechanics that you haven't seen before.
Break bars, dude.
And break bars
are so good.
If you spawn or come across a champion or an elite, and you're just by yourself and no one else is around you, I'm just like, no. I'm like, no, there's no way. And some of the hero points will spawn champions or something that you have to defeat in order to get it. And what was nice is that I was actually in Tangled Depths, and it was one of those skill points, and there was some people passing through, but there wasn't a big group of people around. And I was like, what the heck, I'll go for it. And I started up the hero point, and I just kind of started kiting around it with my scepter and trying to hit it, and I'm getting nowhere, and 2 or 3 other people decided to join in. But it still took us 10 minutes to bring this thing down. You know, and it's spawning mobs, and it felt very engaging because I wasn't simply standing in one place and just waiting for its health bar to go down. It was trying to roll over me, and it's creating
all the stone
mobs.
heads.
Yeah.
See, we've had hard bosses and stuff, but there was just never in the past. It's just not been that big a risk of you dying, you know. And like we've had long fights, and now we're getting long fights, and you actually have to pay attention. You have to be dodging. You have to be aware of where you are and what you're doing, so you don't go down and stuff. It's amazing. All of the new encounters are just fantastic.
How many of you guys have done the Avatar of Balthazar?
No. I've not done it.
Failed it quite a few times.
So Corvus knows, you guys don't know.
The first time I won't spoil anything, but the first time I like pressed F and went in, I literally took one step and I was dead. Like it was just dead. And I was like, oh, okay, I see how it is. I'll wait for some players then.
Here's what I'll say. It's in Auric Basin. Mm-hmm. Go find it. It's a hero point, isn't it? It's a hero point.
Yeah.
Go find it.
Just the hero point's just a commune. It's just an event that triggers, I think.
It's an event that's around the hero point. Mm-hmm. Go find it, wait for it to be active, and then maybe we can talk about that next week.
Yeah.
He is... Whoever designed that, well done. He is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he will eat your face.
Yeah, you will get destroyed.
Bring friends, because
definitely
you're going to need it.
Cool.
If any of you can solo it, if anyone watching can solo that,
somebody will. Somebody
I'll
can.
send you some gold or something.
Yeah.
I definitely cannot solo it, but if you can solo it, you are way better than I am. There was 3 of us that went in originally, and we were like, need more people. Let's get some more friends.
Yeah.
We did kill it with 5 people, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Even if they nerfed some things, the challenge is definitely higher.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about the?
It's just a bit of a shame. It's just a bit of a shame.
I agree.
Some of these hero points, I definitely went to some of the hero points, and it's like I would spawn it and be like, oh, it's a champion. I guess I'm just gonna die, and I'll go find somebody to come back here and help me kill it, because not gonna happen by myself more than likely. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. You know, you do it, and it's like, well, that sucks that he's a champion. Let me go find a guild mate, or find out who hasn't done this one yet, or who's willing to help me kill it so I can get the hero points. But I enjoyed it regardless of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's certainly more geared towards group play than perhaps core Tyria was.
Yeah.
Oh, way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's move on to the mastery system. Now that we've actually got to play with it a little more and experience it. I still got a lot of questions from newer players or people who didn't play the beta and weren't familiar with it. They're like, how does this work? Like, do I spend... I still find it a little... Until you get used to it, it's a little confusing still, because you have to select it, then put level it up with the experience, then put the mastery point in, and you want
then level it and then spend the point.
And I understand the system, because especially when you get to the point where you need 9 mastery points to unlock it, at like the highest tier. You might not have 9 mastery points, but you're still going to be able to, while you're going for those mastery points, you're going to be able to train it.
Yeah. I mean, what I found really interesting was that the central Tyrian mastery point system had been, or the achievement point system had been completely overhauled, so that there's a lot of stuff that you've done in the core game that you get mastery points for. So I think, I don't know about you guys, I on the launch morning, I logged in and I had 50 mastery points for Central Tyria. And I was like, jobs are good. I'm sure people with more achievement points than me had a lot more. But what's kind of interesting is that the mastery points are relatively easy to collect.
Yeah.
That's what I think is
the XP
is the trade-off for the relatively large amount of experience that you have to collect.
I think, like, I don't know, I've never had to go and go out and get more mastery points so I could spend it.
I haven't
I've
either
always had enough.
yet.
I've always had enough.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Obviously, once you get later on to the final couple of tiers, maybe it'll become a bit harder. I'm not too sure.
I mean, I think there's one in the New Arc line that needs like 12 mastery points or something, and I think there's one of the core Tyrian ones as well. I think it's probably the Heart of Thorns legendary mastery that you need like 12 or 15 for as well. So it's nice to see that the very, very final ones they progress in kind of not difficulty, but you have to
get more and more,
like 12 times more experience to it.
And that's another thing I didn't realize for the start, is that the kind of mastery rank that you are is how many points you've spent.
Right.
Yes.
It's not how many mastery things you've unlocked, right? And I didn't realize that at first. So, if something takes 3 points to unlock once you've trained in it, you're going to get 3 added onto your new level or whatever.
I was happy that all of talking about the jungle mastery lines, I was happy that the mechanics, they're connected to the mechanics on the map and convenience, like helping you with the updrafts, helping you get places, or the Nuak wallows, helping you, get across the map very quickly. I was happy that I was looking forward to training pretty much all 4 mastery tracks. Like, I'm like, ooh, I get to go for my Nuak lore next. Whereas when I didn't realize that it was going to be tied into the map mechanics, I thought, like, well, I don't care about the Nuhawk. Why do I want their lore? Like, I don't care about talking to these giant bullfrogs. But I didn't realize that it was so much about being able to traverse the map. There's mastery and hero points you can't get unless you're immune to the poison. Yep. And I went down and some crazy place in Verdant Brink and found this like way deep out of the way mastery point, and I was so excited. And I didn't realize that there was poison all under it, and I couldn't even get it because I was staring at it. I was literally 5 feet from it, and I couldn't get it because I didn't have the new.
It's the one that's directly underneath the giant log, isn't it? The giant log that you run through, it's like right underneath there.
I think so.
I don't know. I just went like down like 3 levels.
A lot of the mastery requirements in Verdant Brink aren't there anymore. So that one that there's a Nuak you talk to who just will ignore you unless you trained in Nuak and you can talk to him. They've removed that, so you can just commune now. Same with the poison one. You can just go up and grab it now as well.
What? Why?
So I finally got map completion in Verdant Brink yesterday.
Doesn't it defeat the purpose of the whole system of like what it was supposed to be?
It's only the kind of more ones at the start which were supposed to be a bit easy. All of the other maps do. It's just Verdant Brink.
It's not supposed to be easy at all. It's a level 80 endgame map.
Right.
And how that doesn't make, if you can go in right now with no masteries and map complete Verdant Brink, there's no point to ever go back to that map. If you have to train level 4 in Nuak mastery before you can get that mastery point and complete the map, that makes it replayable because you get to go back and get those things that you can now earn, and it feels rewarding.
I think it's just for the kind of starting bit, because I guess it was. I know you walk in, you're exploring, you find this cool place, and you can't do anything there because you have to work towards a very.
That's the point.
Right. That's the point.
Like all the way back in. Oh, go on, mate.
That poison one, for example. Like, I didn't know that they had removed this. I found that poison one very early on, and it's like, oh, there's vines. Oh, the vines kill me. Well, okay, let me look at. I looked at my masteries. Okay, here's this one that says walk through poison or vine. Okay, well, whenever I train this up, I know I need to come back here later.
Right.
So I just moved on, and I continued to do other things.
And that,
always
and
thinking
that was
when I got that
in January.
Right.
Right. That's the whole point of endgame progress. I don't agree with that at all.
Poor decision.
The other maps obviously still have the requirements. Like, there's still the leyline gliding one in Auric Basin, I think, and that kind of thing. Yeah. I think it was Verdant Brink, and I think maybe 1 or 2 in Auric Basin. Like the one where you have to go down and pick up the food, but there's poison everywhere. I think you can do that one now without the poison.
But the difference is with Auric Basin, Tangled Depths, and Dragon Stand, each of them have their own
chunk of them.
Yeah. Well, they all have their own unique currency to unlock achievements and weapon sets and that kind of thing. So you're kind of going to want to stay in those maps a little bit longer. Where I can understand Verdant Brink being that map where you introduce players to how
I think that's
all
the point.
content in Heart of Thorns works. But there's the Patriarch friggin' Wyvern there as well. Like, that is harder than coming back to a map later on with a different mastery.
Yeah.
Good point. But then to do that, you need updraft, right? So.
Yeah,
For now.
absolutely. You need updraft to do it.
It's a little. I don't know. I think it's a little disappointing. I think that the whole point of the system was to get to, and we did this in Auric Basin. Me and Crescents and somebody else in the guild were running around, and we were like, how do we get up to that point? We were jumping all over the place, and we finally got on this vine, and I looked up, and I had seen that little sliver of the ley line. I was like, oh, we need ley line gliding to get up there. And that was exciting to figure out and be like, okay, this is my block, and now I know exactly. We'll get ley line gliding later, and we'll come back here, and we just moved on to the next thing. It was okay. It wasn't that big a deal. Like,
I think it's a shame because I liked the way everything worked. I liked the pacing of everything, the little gates they added in, all that stuff. I thought it was really good, and it did a good job at kind of extending the kind of lifetime of the maps and that kind of thing. And it runs a risk now of being able to just kind of walk through, get everything, and then never come back.
Right.
Which obviously I don't want to happen at all.
Is there like a certain what does it give you when you map complete Verdant Brink?
You're supposed to get a reward, and I think there's a gift. You get a gift from each map, and I think if you combine them, you get the gift of Maguma as well.
Right.
That being said, I think map rewards are bugged for some people. I didn't get anything from Verdant Brink. If you go back to South Sun, Dry Top, and Silver Waste, you're supposed to get a reward as well. I didn't get anything from those, so I'm not too sure. I think there's a few bugs, but you are supposed to get something, and the jungle maps reward you with gifts to make the gift of the jungle.
Yeah.
Which is for the new legendaries.
Thankfully, when they're patched, your account automatically does get the rewards.
Right.
But I thought, like, overall, the mastery system is an absolutely phenomenal idea. I don't think that we're trying to take away from the fact that it is a wonderful way to have end game progression. But what I think this is a bit of a problem with the community, considering that we have essentially been, Silver Waste has been our end game for the best part of the year now, and people are kind of used to having everything there, and then going into a map where we, maybe have to earn something. I don't know. It's just that when you see a challenge put before you and you just go and you go, I can't get that right away. Like Inks was saying, you see the ley line thing, right? Come back later and do it. It's not like there's a lack of content at the moment, especially with Halloween going on. We're going to be talking about that later on. But you've got a completely separate event, and you've got 4 giant, beautiful maps to go through, as well as a pretty damn engaging story as well. And then you've got the collections to do. You've got your central Tyrian masteries to do.
There's so much.
There's so much.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's overwhelming how much there is.
What was cool about the system was that it allowed you to sink hours and hours into these new zones and still have more to see. Like you can explore a zone as quick as you like. Like in Corteria, you just run through it and you kind of explore whatever. But when you're actually like stopped because you can't, your character hasn't progressed enough to be able to reach this area, that's something you can look forward to, and it's a reason to keep coming back, and it makes these maps last so much longer too.
Right.
You could finish the story, you can play, the end kind of events and stuff in the last map, and there's still going to be stuff in the first map that you haven't seen because of it.
Right, exactly.
Which is cool. What I think is a shame, though, is this and the kind of nerf to the hero point stuff. All this kind of thing is that it's not even been out for a week yet.
I know,
and it's
been
already
week,
getting.
And people are trying to complete it.
And
it's been a week.
I mean, people were complaining about stuff, and this is a whole other discussion, but people were complaining about stuff after the first day that they hadn't unlocked, all of their specialization, all of this stuff. And it's like, dude, it's been out like one day. Like, why are you so eager and angry, in fact, that you've not got everything yet? Like, how we're supposed to be playing this expansion. Season 3 isn't going to be for a while, guys. Like, this is supposed to last you a while. People,
I think part of the,
what's the point,
I think part of the preconception that people had, and this was addressed in the blog or the forum post, that during the betas we got access to the full class.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was to balance and test the gameplay of it.
Right.
And there
It was always a progression. It was always
Yeah.
an end game progression. It was like people
But there was always a preconception or a misconception that the elite specs would be taken as a given with the content of the expansion, not that you were something that
silly.
you'd have to earn, despite the fact that
Since
this was
day
something
one,
that had said all along.
since day one, they were talking about the elite specs and masteries being their kind of alternative system to increasing the level cap and adding new kind of gear levels, right? It asking for your elite spec, like, I don't know, if you unlock something at level 100 or whatever in WoW, you're not going to log in on day one and have that thing there. You're going to have to work towards it and reach that kind of point. I'm not saying, you know, it should be like, wow, blah blah blah, but I'm just saying this is character progression. Your character goes into the jungle, learns these new things, and can specialize into this thing. Same with the masteries. I don't know why people are so I hate the word entitled, but it's just like, why do you want everything given to you? I would rather earn everything than just be given.
And I think
it devalues it to just get given.
Right, and I hate to say this, but I want to make it clear that I think that all of us we're not so much upset. We're more upset at the fact that ArenaNet has changed things because people are complaining, not that people are complaining. People are going to complain. People are always going to complain.
Gotcha.
People are always going to feel entitled, and whatever. Let them feel that way. But the fact that ArenaNet has gone and reduced the requirements, nerfed the difficulty, you know, taken away. I had no idea about that they had removed the mastery track requirements in Verdant Brink. That makes me mad. It's that they're listening to these people who think that they're entitled to everything right out of the gate on the first day of an expansion, and in a week they're going to complain that there's nothing to do. What? Because you complained, they nerfed everything, and now you have everything, and now what?
Yeah, I think
it's some.
There's a couple of people. There's a couple of people who to be fair, have raised a very valid point about it in chat. Simon says the idea is to play the new content with the elite specializations, not the same spec you've been playing for the last 3 years. And I can't find the name of the chap just a little bit higher than him who agrees with him. So, you know, essentially what they're saying is that people want to experience Heart of Thorns with the elite specializations, which I can understand. Mm-hmm. I can understand. We've got a new way of playing the class. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, obviously we wouldn't be having this conversation if elite specializations weren't part of the expansion. But whether or not we'd have a whole bunch of completely new separate classes in their place. I mean, again, we've kind of had that micro discussion about, are you doing it with your Revenant or are you doing it with your main beforehand?
This is a thing, right? The Revenant is a new class. So that's obviously it's going to just be given to people as a thing they can do.
Right.
The elite specializations, the elite specs are an option. Useful. They're not an upgrade to your character. They were never intended to be an upgrade to your character. They're kind of an option. So I can see why people are like, well, I just want the option. You know, it's not like I can get that too, but at the same time, I think it's something they always said it was supposed to be something you unlock. It was always supposed to be a character progression type of thing. Why people are so surprised that they have to work for it is I just don't understand. I don't know. They were never told that they were going to get stuff. So,
I think that I think that the unlock in the first place is flawed. I don't think that you should have unlocked it with 60 points. I really think there should have been a collection, or, you know, I hate to use the word quest because Guild Wars 2 doesn't really use quests, but some kind of quote-unquote quest, which are sort of like collections nowadays. But anyway, I think that's how it should have been unlocked. And then, in my mind, and I know everybody won't agree with this, and that's okay, but I think that you should be able to fully unlock your elite spec about halfway through the new content.
Yeah.
That being, like, you know, like by the time you reach midway through Auric Basin, I think that you should probably have your elite spec so that you can experience the second half with everything in the elite spec. Now, the problem with a lot of these elite specs, and maybe not all of them, but I would say probably a fair amount of them, is they're really not viable to use until you basically have everything unlocked, or
Yeah.
near everything unlocked. Like I have like 90% of Revenant or Herald unlocked. I'm not using Herald until everything is unlocked, quite honestly, because I need those last few points because that's what I want to take in Herald. So right now I'd be playing an incomplete elite spec, and that's just as bad feeling as not having any of it, really. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
The problem with collection stuff is that would probably be account bound unless it was bound to each different thing, and then people would complain that it takes hours for them to grind through. Same with if it was a story arc, people would have to just play through story stuff, rush through it against their will, right? You know, to unlock this thing. This thing is basically impossible to really do. Like, and they obviously wanted it to be earned, and they've nerfed it, and so people are feeling a bit better about it. But it's still, I don't know. It's just, I've seen some very mean comments from people towards ArenaNet because of this horrible decision. They're forcing us to grind all this stuff. It's just so ridiculous. I understand if people are complaining, ArenaNet should listen. They should take note of people giving feedback and, you know, saying what they're unhappy with, what they're happy with, all this stuff, of course. But you're playing the game to unlock stuff. Like, I just don't understand.
What's
like,
actually
what the problem
quite cool is that
it's not a grind. Every challenge is different. You know, like every challenge is different. You're working towards your map completion. You're exploring. You're finding new places and new challenges to do. So, and it's a slow progression. I understand. Yeah, a lot of people aren't using them until they're maxed out because what's the point? You know, running a Reaper with 2 traits or something. Right. But at the same time, like it's something you're working towards, and it makes it feel a bit more special. I know for a fact that if I made a new character, like, I don't know, an engineer, I've never played an engineer before. If I logged in on a new engineer and I had Scrapper just given to me, it wouldn't feel like this big thing I'd earned.
You didn't earn it at all, to be quite honest.
Exactly.
I mean, you kind of did.
Made a character and got it.
You did world completion beforehand. You worked hard to get those hero points beforehand. But on launch day, you just open it up and boom, I'm a Scrapper. I know some people won't care. Structured PvP players probably won't care.
Right.
Some world versus world players probably won't care. Even some PvE players just won't care about that. But why isn't there a collection or some sort of story to go as to why you're a Scrapper, or how did you learn to be a Scrapper? And I realize that's a role-playing PvE sort of mentality, but I don't know. So far, I just unlock Herald, and I'm a Herald. Why? Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't matter.
What I did think was really cool now when you were mentioning collections was the way that the elite specialization weapons work.
Yeah,
so
that's
cool. That is so inspired. I absolutely love that, and the way that the Mist Warden armor works for the Revenant as well. So you have these. You get like a base item. You get like a pretty ugly version of your final weapon. So for Revenant, it's Glint's Bastion, which is a shield, and for Druid, it's Yggdrasil.
Yeah,
which is
Dark
really
Harvest for Reaper.
Yeah,
and you just get a basic by unlocking the elite spec, like that first trait. You just get like an exotic version, which looks a bit worse and whatever. And as you go forwards, you unlock various different things in your thing, and by finishing your elite specialization kind of trait thing with your points, you know, you unlock a bit of armor and stuff for it too. So it's not just like the traits you're working for; you're getting cool gear and stuff too. You know.
I
like those collections actually.
Yeah. On the subject of talking about weapon skins and that, there was a thing when they were talking about legendaries that the precursors were going to be like scaled down versions of the legendaries. Can we talk about how, without exception, how frigging awful they all look? Like,
really?
I haven't looked at them.
Not like the modeling of them themselves, but it looks like someone has taken great pains to make them all deliberately ugly.
Yeah, see, that's the trick about it. They had to make them look bad. They had to make them not as good, which is
like.
I think with the new legendaries, you know, when you get the precursor, it would be cool, and then the legendary would be like. But because we're so used to what the full legendaries look like, seeing a kind of crappy version of them is.
Like
Howl in particular is hilarious to me.
Some of them are okay looking. Like
Dusk and Dawn look so strange.
No, they don't.
They're plain, but they have that nice outline of the color.
It's okay.
Like
they look like chibi friggin' weapons, dude. Chibi friggin' great swords.
But
Fair enough.
I think it's I think it's such
I like
a
some of them.
really cool thing to do because it is going to make people want the full legendaries. Because I think that there was a little bit of a preconception that you might have been able to run around with a slightly less shiny Twilight or whatever, but it just looks ugly as balls. Like honestly, it's such a well done kind of crafting the actual item job. So like the textures and the design of the weapon, they're really, really well done. Fantastic design. But they've succeeded in making it look awful. That you just have to have.
Brilliant. Howl is hilarious, right? You have the wolf, you have the moon thing, you have all this stuff. For the precursor, they literally just chopped the head off and just stuck it onto the mouthpiece. It's like that big, and it's just this little wolf guy. Like, it's amazing. Frostfang's really cool because it doesn't have a face. It's just like the outline with the spikes and stuff, but it's just like a normal axe blade thing. And a lot of people said they preferred the look of that, and a lot of people are saying that Dawn looks better, and all these things look a lot cooler than.
Looks pretty damn cool, to be fair.
I didn't have a look at that.
The
one.
rifle skin looks alright.
Dude, I don't know if you guys have seen the Flameseeker Prophecies. It's
Oh, it
literally
looks
just
awful.
a shield with a friggin'
the
closed book
book.
stuck on it. It's incredible.
Some of them are pretty funny.
I'm so glad I've got the legendary version of that and not the.
Leafy Kudzu looks really good, actually.
It does, yeah.
I like that one. But you also get the failed versions as well, because part of the thing you get like the failed experiment, and so you have like Kudzu's literally just like a burnt stick, basically. That's a skin you can use. It's really cool.
Reminds me of the improvised weapons that they come out with.
Yeah.
The Black Line set.
Oh yeah. Some of those are pretty funny.
They're funny.
There's one.
I
can't remember
don't
which
have
weapon
any
it is.
Black
There's one that's
Line.
a chair, though. I think.
Yeah,
The
the
shield is
The
literally
shield?
like a chair, like broken off, and it's like got the broken pegs, legs of the chair.
I really like the sword. I think is like a broken window pane.
That one
actually
was
reflects.
amazing.
And some of them are really cool.
Some of them are really good. They're all
I
really well
haven't-
designed.
I think I'm like one ticket shy of grabbing one, so hopefully I'll grab one like next week or something. But pretty cool little set. There's nothing like super shiny about them, but at the same time they're like whimsically funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that. It's a different pace for those weapons. I really thought that whole system was going to get an overhaul, but I guess not.
The Black
but anyway,
Line
it's cool.
tickets and stuff.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was just rumor or something at one point, but I thought that system was going to get an overhaul, but I guess it didn't in the end for whatever reason. But those weapons are cool. They're whimsical and funny and
Yeah.
neat.
Can we talk about some really, really awesome skins that have appeared in the Black Lion Gem store for Halloween?
Go for it.
What?
Like the
outfit?
There's a new Halloween outfit, and with the launch of Heart of Thorns, there's the Crystal Arbiter outfit. Or
Right.
Well, there's the Crystal Arbiter pack for $25. That's something that I wanted to ask you guys about. Is what do you think about them putting an outfit, a glider skin? What else is there? There's something else.
It's like
You
bag
get the
slots.
weapon. You get a choice of a weapon, right?
And your choice of
the
a unique
immortal
weapon
weapons,
skin.
which you can
Yeah.
only get from that, and you only
Right.
get one
You can only get those things in this pack.
Wait.
for now.
You
Anyway,
can only
Right.
get immortal weapons from that?
only
Yeah.
from that, and you get to choose one of them.
You get to choose one.
And I don't know if they're
That's fine.
tradable. I don't think they're tradable.
I haven't chosen mine yet.
I didn't get one.
Go
It's-
get one.
It's a different. It doesn't matter. It's a different topic. Anyway, I didn't realize that the immortal set was something that you couldn't actually earn in game except through that pack.
I'm certain. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe the name's wrong. Maybe it's not immortal. I can't remember. But whatever weapon
immortal,
comes with
yeah.
that pack.
Whatever set that
Okay, yeah,
is.
you can only
But-
get from that. I
and-
think
and
it says on the skin this is only available from like certain purchases on the
I'll
gem
just
store.
fire up Guild Wars and have
I
a look.
just-
So do you think like immortal is going to be a Black Line ticket set later, and this is like your way
I'm
of
not
buying
sure.
into the
Getting
set
it early? That's possible.
Maybe.
I think
Yeah.
it's the only way to get it so far.
Right.
I think it's been said, so maybe it'll come in at
if
different
that's
time.
true, that's pretty interesting because it's like buying early access to something, to like a weapon that nobody else is gonna, or unless you buy that pack, like less people are going to have access to. Right.
Right.
And you
But
can't
Maybe they'll
sell
just
it.
start doing it. Maybe it'll be a set of weapons that you can only get from packs, and they'll introduce more packs with different outfits and stuff, and then you get another thing, and you can choose a different weapon, or something like that. I guess that could be a way.
But what I don't know if I agree with is, and like this is the first time we've seen an outfit, a glider skin, a weapon, and you get like 2 other items, are all bundled into this bundle, and that's the only way you can get those things. Now they might separate them later, but if they
maybe.
But I was so surprised. I was like, it's only in this package. It's kind of like the mummy back piece and the mini that's the legs. Yeah, those match and they go together, but there's no way to get those separately. And then they up the price. It's what, like 700 or 800 gems for that set. And then what if you want that glider skin, but you have no interest in the outfit, or you want one of those weapon skins and you have no interest? You're forced to get this $25 pack. I don't know. I thought that was very odd. It was the first time they've ever put an outfit in a bundle like that. Now I totally agree with the.
I think it looks great.
Like
I think it all looks great.
It does. It looks great. I just don't know.
I think options are a big thing, right? Like you have the option to buy it in a bundle if you want both, but let us choose like individual things if we only want one of them.
Right. But they might separate them later. I don't know. And then you do get it on. It's like what, 30% off or something, or 20.
Something like that,
yeah. It's at like a discount. So they might separate them later than for full price. But you can get it now in the bundle. And again, that's true. If they separate them later, it's a little bit unique because you don't see everybody walking around with that outfit or using that glider, because not everybody is gonna want the whole bundle. So it's a way to get it early. So yeah, if they separate it later, I'm okay with how they're doing that.
Right. Yeah.
If they
don't,
don't,
they have to sell it a la carte later for.
Right.
It'll be more money. It'll cost you more.
And I'm fine with that. Yeah.
But then you'll be able to buy just a glider or just a an outfit or whatever.
Right.
How cool is this? I was really excited when I saw that the certain back pieces now unlock like glider skins. Like the black and white wings came with it.
Yeah.
It's
amazing.
God. It's super cool.
I use nothing but the white wings for my glider.
I think the crystal glider and the basic default glider, both of those you can dye, which is exciting because you're going to be able to dye future gliders that come out. It's just another cool thing to custom.
Yeah.
Customize.
Electro blue and shadow purple on the crystal weapon skin.
Yeah.
Looks incredible. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
A mate of mine was messing around with it on launch, and then I tried it. I was like, yeah, actually, this looks pretty cool. We'll have this.
How much are the bat wings? They're like 700, right?
700.
Yeah. Because it's the back piece and the glider.
I actually don't mind that price point too much. You'd pay 500 for a back piece anyway. If you were going to buy a back piece, it'd cost you 500, which means that the glider's costing you about 200.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I know some people would rather just buy the glider for 200, but putting it in a pack like that, I don't think is too bad.
No.
I think it looks so good when you have the back piece and the glider, because you've got these wings and then you jump in the air and then you actually fly with them.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
It's I always thought it was kind of weird. I mean, it worked fine with the default one, but say like, I don't know, you run and then you jump and then suddenly these white wings appear. I don't know, it's kind of a bit strange.
It's awesome.
So I think it
awesome.
works. It's cool, but I think it works so much better if you have the back piece equipped.
What is
as well.
What is the mummy holding in his arm?
I have no idea.
It's like a star or something.
It's
weird
a
star
golden
that kind of glows.
Star. It's got like a crystal in the middle or something. I have no idea. I've been trying to figure that out too.
If you look at if you have the mini legs, which comes with it, which is just the mummy legs following you, and you click on it and target it, it has a kind of, certain bosses have flavor text about them when you target them. Under that, it says, like, hunting for its lost treasure or something. So the legs are running after you to try and catch the treasure, which is obviously its top half and whatever it's holding. It's quite cool. I don't know.
And this is interesting. Like, this is such a tiny little thing. It's called a ghoul.
Yeah.
But it's really a mummy.
It's a mummy, yeah.
Ghouls to me were always like, I don't know, more ghostly, but maybe
that's ghostly why apparitions.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It was kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then the new outfit is pretty
Oh
cool.
man,
Lunatic
How
guard
good.
outfit.
You can dye the fire.
Dying
Yeah,
fire.
Really
it's
hard time
good
with.
does that look?
It's
But
really
you
good.
Used to be, I just want that for the COF armor. You know, like other flame armor. Please put that option in for that. That'd be cool.
Let you dye the fire. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it looks so like I've just been messing around with it on my Revenant today, and like all the different colors of fire you can have, and like you've got like blue fire for your Guardians, and kind of reddy, kind of purpley fire for your Revenants, and then
It's
Green
tough.
for your Necro or something. You know, it's a lot
I
of
kept
stuff.
trying to figure out like what color fire I want. It's just such a silly thing. I kept trying to figure out what kind of fire I want to use, because you don't want regular fire. It's green fire. Necro's done it. Who cares? You know.
Pink
Blue
fire.
fire. Guardians have done it.
Guardians
Purple
got-
is Mesmer. Like what
Yes,
color do I
exactly.
use for Revenant? It was
Black
tough.
fire. I wonder
Yeah.
what
Black
does it look
fire.
like if you use Abyss or something on your
You
Shadow
can, yeah.
Abyss.
Shadow Abyss.
It comes up. It comes up like
Celestial
smoky.
fire.
Ah,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah, you could go white. Yeah. Pink
it's-
fire. Yeah, there's pink.
I also I gotta say this about the Crystal Arbiter skins, but the level of detail on it.
The
Crazy
detail on
detail.
that outfit
Just-
is insane.
oh my,
So shiny though, man.
Oh, it's so
shiny.
good.
Like,
So
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my Mad King's costume, but compare that to the new Lunatic skin.
Mm-hmm.
Like ArenaNet have just upped and upped and upped
Yeah.
Yeah.
quality
Did a good job.
Yeah.
on
it's so much
of this
detail.
kind of thing over the last 3
I don't
years.
say this too often about outfits, but both of those outfits would be worth the 700 gems to me.
Yeah.
It's rare that I say that. I'm not a big outfit fan, generally speaking. I like to mix
Yeah,
and match
neither.
things.
Mm-hmm.
But those two, if the other one ever becomes like sold in piecemeal, those two I think are actually worth their weight in gems.
Yeah. The detail on him and dyeable. Now I don't like the helm. It scares me.
But you,
Yeah,
but you
On
because
the
can
it makes
make
your
lunatic
character bald.
one.
All my
It's
characters
the
have
skull. Have you seen it
lots
on a
of hair.
char? It's like the char skull.
It looks amazing on a char, and it looks okay on Azura as well. But I think I don't know. It's a shame that my hair doesn't show properly, because you know your
Yeah.
head's on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good, pretty good. So, Halloween.
Halloween. Can we just get this out of the way?
Yeah, go for it.
While Ink still has
Some
his
life
blood
in him.
pressure. So the day after Halloween dropped,
Yeah.
young mini Gwifrfrfrfrfrfrd
Oh.
is available for 100 candy corn cobs.
I'm
And
about
at the
halfway
time,
there.
I put 100 candy corn cobs into the trading post, and it was 348 gold.
Yeah, it's even more now. I'm about
Yeah.
halfway there.
Yeah.
What kills me is everybody loves tweeting at me like, "Oh, I just opened 70 bags and here it is." And, I just opened 20 bags. It's no big deal. Here's a mini Gwynifred. It's just like, I've opened another 6,000 bags or something, but it's okay.
At least you know though that you're going to be able to buy that at any point in the next year. You know, all of the other candy corn rewards were here all year until Halloween this year, and you know,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can leave
Maybe.
it for a bit. You can.
I think the only
slowly
things that I'm missing are I don't have the Karka helmet because I just forgot about it until now.
Mhm.
And I don't have Gwynifred obviously, and I haven't even started with the shoulder piece, which is
Whole other
anyway.
thing.
What I have no
I've
idea what
killed-
the process
I've-
is to get that.
So I've killed Mad King like probably at least a dozen times. I haven't done him in the last few days, but I was killing him probably about 5 times a day. I've never seen one of those bat wings drop. I'll probably just end up buying them for 20 gold apiece.
It's crazy.
And now you need an unopened endless bat
Endless
tonic,
bat tonic.
which you
Yeah.
can't craft. You have to get it from trick-or-treat bags or buy it from the trading post for like 500 gold. And it was like 800 gold the other day, so maybe I should feel fortunate that it's only 500 now. But if you want those bat shoulders, you got to put in a lot of work. The other stuff, like the other components, don't bother me so much because you can, like you said, you can earn
You
those.
just earn them slowly. Yeah, exactly.
But the further we get away from Halloween, those bat wings, those 4 bat wings that you need, and
It's
the
gonna get
unopened
more and
bat
more
tonic,
expensive.
they're just going to get more and more expensive as we get
Yeah.
away from
I've
Halloween.
I found one of them. I've been lucky. I found all of the Halloween rewards, basically. All of the new weapon skins, that stuff. All of them except the mini spooky Moa with the little pumpkin on its head. I don't have that yet. And I did get a tattered Batwing from the Mad King chest as well. And at the time, they were about 4 gold each. And now they're like you said, around 20 gold or something like that. And I only have one. I should have bought them then. I was tempted to buy a few more just in case.
They were used.
So now it's 60 gold. I'm gonna have to sink.
Yeah.
Do they come out of trick or treat bags? Is that how you get them?
It's
No.
just from the Mad King's chest, and I think there's a chance from the Mad King Says chest. I think.
Yeah.
But you can't get them from the bags at all. It's just from the little dungeon.
Yeah.
So I ran it quite a few times, and got one on my second try or something like that, because I was just trying to get anything basically.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
But it's like 6,000 flax seeds as well.
Yeah, I think the last number I saw for the full shoulder piece, it was like 3,500 gold or something.
3,500 gold.
Oh my god.
It was more than a legendary,
Jesus.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing, and
Yeah.
it's armor, right? So it shows up on your login screen. You have the bats flying around you, and it's cool. But I think it's crap, to be honest, because you don't have shoulders. And I spent ages. I was like, I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna get it. And I spent ages in the wardrobe, like trying to find like a cool look and all this stuff. You look so weird without a shoulder piece. Like I don't know, you just look small, and you don't. I don't know. It just would have been cool to have it as maybe like the polyluminescent things, like or the queen bee, like a jewel or something that you put into your slot, so you don't look. I don't know. It's a cool effect, but in the same way that the queen bee means you have to use exotic gear, so you're not super great. This makes you lose, a shoulder piece, which is super important. I've learned.
As long as I can get my hands on an unopened bat tonic, everything else I don't care about. I can work on that stuff over time. Like I don't need to have it at the end of Halloween. I'm okay with working on it throughout the rest of the year. I mean, obviously, I still need about 50 candy corn cobs. That's a whole other story. But at least it's there. It's not going to go away. The only thing I need right now, or the only thing I want out of Halloween right now, is the Karka helmet, and
I have
that bat tonic. But other than that, the other rewards, I was very happy that the weapon skins seem to be fairly common.
Yeah,
and those all look really great. I think the weapon skins look really fun.
Are they in the trick or treat bags?
Pistols. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is the spooky Moa in trick or treat bags as well? I've had a million of the devil dogs. I've had a million of the pistol. But I've not seen the little Moa guy.
I believe he's from I just bought him from the trading post. He was like 20.
Last I checked, he was about 20 something gold. Yeah.
But I think he comes from trick or treat bags. I'm pretty sure he's like the new rarer drop. But you can trade him, so he's not as rare as Gwynifred still, I guess. But.
There's some really there's a couple of cool I think quite cool looking minis on there, like the little Mordrum husk with the jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of cool.
Cool.
And
nothing. The Moa comes close. The Moa with the pumpkin on its head comes close. But my favorite is still the Scrit holding the candy corn cob. He's
cool. There's something about the Moa, right? As soon as I saw it on that first picture we saw, I kind of had I don't know, there's something about it. I think it's the kind of mini that people are gonna want. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I think if that's not back next year or something, it could very well be something that goes quite high in price. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, the Moas always go for a decent amount, I think. And he's got a pumpkin on his head, so he's kind of cute, and I could see it.
So cool, dude. I love that mini.
Are you disappointed that none of the back pieces were in-game rewards? They're all gem store?
I really wanted the mummy one to be kind of, I don't know, I was just curious about it because you couldn't really see it from the picture they teased, and you can and no one had seen anything in game, so I don't know, I was curious about it. I thought it would have been quite a cool thing.
I was expecting it to be in game.
Yeah, I thought the Mad King might drop like the mummy one or something,
I figured it would be a mix.
I was confused as well because on the blog post about Halloween before, they were talking about the new bat wing shoulder piece, and I was like, maybe they mean back piece because the guy had the big bat wings. I was like, maybe made a mistake, and I thought, oh, that's cool because those wings, you're gonna be able to craft them, and that's quite cool. But nah, they meant something else. That's fine.
I think there
It's
should
been an
be
okay balance.
a unique reward for finishing the clock tower. Like,
Yeah.
I think you just get like what, an exotic
just the
that's not a
same
unique
exotic.
skin. They're
No,
not
no,
even
it's,
Halloween skins. They're just
It's a chess piece this year, so it is a different piece. But I think that whole set should have been maybe what the outfit is.
Yeah, like a
maybe
unique
just-
skin like that.
Or maybe just create a totally different outfit, and every year they feed you a piece of that outfit, you know? Because I think
Last year
was it
was
like-
gloves, wasn't it?
it was like slippers the first year, I think, and
the
last
first year
year
was slippers, gloves, but they're not unique skins.
No, they're
no,
just
They're not. They're just
generic
called
exotic.
Mad King
Set,
slippers.
isn't
It's
it?
different text.
Right. And it gives you the rune of the Mad King, but yeah, it's not that special, to be honest.
not.
I wish
Right.
that... I wish every year, by doing the clock tower, you got a different piece of that Mad King set. And I realized, like, that would take you 6 years. It sounds like a long
Right.
time, I realize. But, you
But
know...
I don't know. It's just a
Would've
cool
been
bit of
something
flavor,
special every
and it means people run it. You know, because I think a lot of people they'll do it, and then they probably won't bother the next year. You know, why would you do it again?
Right.
Yeah.
For
I just think there should be
loot that
some
doesn't really mean
unique
anything.
reward. There should be like, if you actually make it to the top, then you get a mini or
Well, and you don't get
Something.
the achievement anymore.
No, you don't.
Like, I think you only got the achievement the first year, didn't you? Maybe it was the first
I
and
think you
second.
got it last year as well, but weirdly you can get the Master Carver again this year, and you couldn't get that
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't finished that
Mm-hmm.
yet. I need to.
I mean, I've got it once. I don't think I'm going to bother. I did it in 2012.
Achievement points, you know.
I've still not
Yeah.
done it. I've still not done it.
Meaningless, sort of.
But I've not tried that many times either. I don't farm it loads. And this year there's been Heart of Thorns, so I've just not.
yeah.
bothered
I've
to do
I've
it.
done maybe an hour of the labyrinth, and like Mad King says a couple times, and that's about it. Like, I've just been Heart of Thorns. Like, I don't have time to do both.
Well, you should do the Mad King fight at least once.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
will.
There's good drops from
It's
that
not,
as well.
not
like-
really difficult, but you know,
I remember doing it the very first year, like once, and that was it. I
Yeah.
remember dying a lot.
There's good loot from that because I've gotten, you either get a ton of bags. I've gotten some cool mats or exotics even and stuff just drop, as well as Halloween stuff from the bags you get. So I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people have been like farming it, basically just going in and out. You can find parties on LFG that just go in and out and
Yeah.
constantly do it, which is cool. And I've had a lot of fun with it. More so than the labyrinth even. So.
I think people are disappointed that you can't get the Mad Memoirs skin, but ArenaNet.
But they should have added. They could have added something new to the. Like you said, one of these back pieces could have been a new
Yeah.
Halloween back piece.
I think it was just timing this year.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah.
They said that they wanted to. Colin had said that they want to like rework, or they have to basically rework the Mad Memoirs entire collection. So it's
Yeah.
kind of interesting, and I hope that they do this next year. Hopefully, they have the time and the resources. But it's kind of interesting, like that Mad Memoirs could now be a proper collection that rewards like the final back piece and stuff. So that's cool to think about for next year. Hopefully, that could be a collection that people could work on and added content, so to speak. Now, I will say that the dialogue added for Halloween was really great. There's a lot of idle dialogue. There's a female and a Norn, I think it's a human female, who are talking about all the candy corn that's around, like all the candy corn decorations, I guess, and stuff. The smell of candy corn is actually keeping the prince at bay, and that's like why he's not around this year. There's a conversation in the center about how somebody says to somebody else, like, you prefer Winter's Day over Halloween, or you prefer Halloween over Winter's Day? Are you crazy or something? And he has this whole explanation of why Halloween is better than Winter's Day. And just a lot of cool little dialogues. And we haven't even talked about feeding freaking Drewbert a whole candy corn cob.
Drewbert's a ghost. Oh my god.
I do not care for Quaggan. I shall remain absent from this conversation.
Poor Peter Freeze didn't
Do you
actually
know what? He
write
eats a shit ton of candy corn for a dead bloke, doesn't he?
1,000 pieces of candy corn to start his new life in the afterlife or
Oh
something.
my
he was saying.
god.
Pretty
You
funny.
just get like a karma consumable, right? I think you just get like a cookie you can
I
eat for
forget.
karma.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna keep
But
it.
you
in my
get
bag
something
just
this
as a
time.
thing.
You actually get
Yeah,
something
you
for
actually
feeding
do.
him.
Right.
I was like, Drubert, you son of a...
Candy corn
I need
sink.
that candy corn cob, Drubert. But yeah, all
You're
that
gonna
stuff
be
was really
one
cool.
short at the end of Halloween. Drubert.
Drubert. Actually, sadly, Peter didn't write for Drubert this time. Somebody else did.
Aw.
But
Such a
yeah.
Yeah, it's and there's a little girl in there that says, "I feel bad for Silvari. They should get treats because like they were never kids or something like that because obviously they were just
they were
born."
never kids. They should get
Yeah.
candy too.
There's some new
Such a
there's some new trick or treaters and stuff walking around.
Yeah.
And, even adults in costumes. There's an adult walking around called the Devil, and she's wearing like
yeah, sorry.
this
Yeah.
fire outfit with the horns and.
They did
Very
a really good job. I was only half expecting them to actually like decorate that much for New Lion's Arch because I just figured they would be so consumed with Heart of Thorns that they would just kind of let's just do a half-assed
good-
Halloween. But they
did a
brought
good
back
job.
events. They did a full like decorating of that central plaza and for Halloween and
New
so-
skins, everything.
Lots
like-
of new skins. I was not even expecting, I was like, maybe we'll get like one new back piece or something. So they went all out for Halloween. I was very happy to see that.
Make sure you get
very
your shackles. Those were added to the vendor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
And the other
More
thing
than
was
once,
in the guild hall, you can and I don't know how you unlock the other. There's a bunch of pumpkins you can unlock
So
in the
many,
guild hall.
yeah.
I don't know how you can unlock the others, but a very basic pumpkin you can trade 100 candy corn in your guild hall.
Oh,
for
yeah.
a basic-
It's just
Uh,
good. It just
decorate.
adds a bit of flavor. Also, some of the weapon skins are scribing ingredients. The hammer, for one, is like a
Really?
scribe level 300 ingredient. So I think maybe
Really?
you use some of these weapon skins to craft some of
You're
the
gonna need
new
to pick up an
decorations.
extra weapon skin or something. Then
Yeah, I know for a fact the pumpkin one is. I don't know about the others, but the pumpkin hammer is definitely definitely.
So,
good.
speaking of guild halls,
Speaking of guild halls.
Segway.
Guild halls.
employ me ring it. I can write this shit in my sleep. Sorry, I really shouldn't swear, should I? I do apologize.
I won't fire you this time.
Guild halls.
I have not seen Gilded Hollow yet, but I have seen. I've captured Lost Precipice with Maven, and it's huge.
Lost Precipice. This is where it's
Team
at.
Gilded Hollow.
Huge.
Team
you know
Gilded
it's
Hollow.
funny, but Dara was posting. I think she posted on Reddit or she posted somewhere and it was reposted on Reddit about like day 6 or something. The data and it looks like Gilded Hollow is way ahead.
Yep.
Of Lost. Are all you people mad? Lost Precipice is way better.
Nah,
I tell you
man.
what, though,
Gilded Hollow is just so.
Precipice capture is much harder than the Gilded Hollow because
it? Yeah.
it's not flat. Like the Gilded Hollow capture
that's not
is
true, dude.
easy mode.
That's not true because
It is.
no, because one of the things that spawns for us was under a waterfall and we couldn't see it, and then you have to glide down and go under a waterfall, and it's there.
We had to go under a waterfall.
Yeah, dude, it was really.
I had to go. We had one in the Lost Precipice on the beach, and then we had to run all the way to the bloody other end of the map up 4 flights of stairs.
Cool. I didn't have to do it.
Oh shit!
Gilded Hollow is amazing. It's I don't know if I probably shouldn't say where it's located for
in
spoiler.
the Maguma
reasons.
jungle.
It's in the jungle, right? So that's already cool. It's all gold. It's this nice homely cave. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I like it better.
I haven't been to Guild.
Precipice. It's like a shanty town, man. It's like a
Precipice
weird
is
desert,
like ruins.
yeah,
like-
and it's.
That's what I love about it.
I've spent far too much time in the Silver Wastes for the past year and a half or so. I'm good to just chill out in a nice golden cave instead of basically just living in the Silver Wastes. Yeah,
I do
gliding's
love-
neat. Okay, but you can be in multiple guilds, right? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the nice
fly
part.
around and
No,
do stuff.
stay out, Corvus. You're not allowed in our Lost Precipice.
Actually,
Unless he's going to donate materials, right?
That's right.
Fine.
The RPG Shack guild hall just to uncover Lost Precipice on my map.
Yeah.
With like, it's great that I managed to I 5-manned it on I think on the Saturday or the Sunday, It's very, very fun and very challenging as a five-man
good.
group.
It's good.
Now, what's really cool about the capture events is that it scales depending on how many people are in there. So the basic event is that you have to kill X number of these more things that spew toxic gas into the air, and the more people that are in there, the more waves that you have to defeat or whatever. But you have to do with one five-man team across these ridiculously big maps, and like even without being facetious, like the verticality aspect of Lost Precipice makes it a lot more challenging.
Yeah,
but it's just really, really fun. And
It was fun.
And then at the end, you have this. Do you remember that monstrous axe hammer thing that was data mined a week or so before launch? There's this big legendary bloke with a break bar that you have to kind of take down, and he does like a whole ton of one-shot attacks and that kind of thing. But the really disappointing thing about it is that you only have to break his bar once, and that's it.
You basically just burn it.
Once you break his bar, it's like that's it. It's just kind of like a chitin thing, DPS event. But I will say
with more
that
people, we had to break it more than once. I think we had to break
Oh,
it
did you?
twice. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough then.
But we had like 20-something people there too, so
Yeah, I think
Oh,
we
that's
had to
probably
fight
had
2 of them.
I think we maybe had 10 to 15 or something when we did it. I can't remember.
It's also randomized, so like the first time
Yeah.
we did it, there was a patch right in the middle, so that Maven had to redo it. But the first time we got 1 staff guy, 1 axe guy. When we went and redid it, we got 2 axe guys, like back to back, at the very end there.
no.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was a good time.
I don't know.
That's-
I've
they're
not
so
spent
great,
enough
Guild.
time in my guild hall, I don't think. Like, I mean, I go there, and it's cool to chill and stuff there, but I think, I don't know, I just haven't really spent enough time there. I think a lot of that's probably based around slowly working towards some of the upgrades and stuff, right? And once you have
Right.
more stuff there, you're going to visit there more.
I haven't
So,
even
hey.
looked into the upgrade system. It just like the leaders of Maven were just like, we need this and this and this and this and this. I'm like, how do you even know what we need? Like, I don't understand.
We spent the first. I haven't kept up on it the last 2 days because I haven't really been on. But we spent the first couple of days really like powering through, pretty much like all the upgrades that we could. I think Maven is like level 15 or so at this point. I think. I don't know what we're working on currently, but yeah, Rindar and Rio and some of the other guys who take care of that stuff have been really good at like figuring out. And it's funny because those guys are so technical about like, this upgrade is worth more than this upgrade because this will give us better return and all this other stuff. So it's pretty amusing. But some of the stuff you need for those upgrades is no joke. Like you need to really put in some
Let's
serious
see it.
gold
We
money.
need 1,000 ectos and
Well, I know,
Yeah.
like I forget which upgrade it was, but we needed leyline tools, and this was before people were really progressing enough into the story to get those. So I think between Rio, Rindar, and myself, we ended up putting in about 350 gold worth of leyline tools
wow.
in order to get that upgrade. Now, leyline tools are only worth like 15 or 16. No, actually, they're worth like 3 gold now.
Right.
But when we were doing it, people were selling them for like 35 gold or something.
Because everyone who was
Crazy
trying to
amount.
rush it would actually buy them.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's interesting. It's fun to upgrade that sort of stuff. On the other hand, guild missions, kind of a headache.
Yeah.
Kind of a freaking headache.
That wasn't so fun.
That first week, the first weekend there, doing PvP in World vs. World, so we did PvP. There was I think there was 10 of us or 11 of us online, so we made 2 groups of 5. And what happened was the first group finished their match before we did, and I think it was a sort of bugged, so, or maybe it wasn't. I'm still not entirely sure. But when they finished the guild mission, and they all got personal rewards. Well, when we finished, none of us got personal rewards because it was already
It's like
over.
the first people to do it, they get the rewards, and it finishes it, basically. So
then we had
any other people don't.
We had to then redo all the guild missions so that the other half of us could get rewards. And then when me and Peachy did missions on Monday, there was a lot of people where it was like you didn't claim something for what is the guild
The
mission?
guild trek.
The trek. You didn't claim a trek, so you didn't get any rewards. Now we had to spawn like 3. We had to spawn the trek like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
The crab toss, which I was there for some reason, I didn't get rewarded for that, and so now I'm not going to get that reward at all this week.
I think that's a known bug with the crab toss, though, isn't it? That
I don't know. I really haven't been able to keep
for a while.
It was really like we were all sitting there at the crab toss, like waiting for people to finish the trek, and then like it was just a bad system having like why would you have individual rewards in guild missions? It just doesn't make sense. The one thing that was very good is that the rush and most of them are instants now. The stuff that was in the open world, the crab toss and the rush and the puzzle, they're going to be instants now, so that you don't have random people or entire other guilds doing it at the same time. They're like leveling up the events and making it harder for your guild.
But it was so good to be able to just come in and some guild had already started and you just
I'll
just come in and do anything, and then you don't have to do anything.
You know what, the number of people that when I was running puzzle, who'd kind of rush in and just go, nah! They had no idea what they were doing and just setting off all the internal timers. No. Away with you! Away with you.
Yeah. It's very nice not to have to worry about that part anymore, but there's some other parts of it that really need some work.
Tweaking.
What was really weird was I to actually claim our guild hall, I had to go and do a guild mission to get favor. And so there were like me and 4 people. We just captured a World v World camp and held it. And so we were just like standing there for 4 minutes, just going, "Do we? Please don't come and take this camp from us." That's not my guild.
Well, and then there's the issue as well, and maybe it's not as big a deal for like World vs. World guilds, I guess. But for us in Maven, we had the issue where like 5 of us were on Blackgate. So the 5 of us or 6 of us, however many there were, we grouped up and went and took a camp. But then you have Aurora on TC, and we had some people who was on Yak's Bend or something. Like you have 1 or 2 people on these different servers, and then what are they supposed to do exactly? Like they wouldn't get credit for that stuff.
Right.
And that kind of stunk as well, I guess. I don't know.
So it's still got some flaws, but hopefully when they eventually add more, because I hope they're going to add more PvE events, that they'll rework the system.
Yeah.
Because they've had to have been hearing this feedback, and it's one of the things in the game that I kind of, put the guild in Guild Wars. Like, we got guild halls, so that's good. That's a big thing that guilds can do together. But, okay, great, we got the hall. Give us some adventures to go out on, So,
hopefully coming soon.
Hopefully coming soon, exactly. Yeah. Well, guys, I think we're going to end the show here. We went much longer today than we usually did, but we had a lot to talk about. It was, we were at about an hour and a half into the actual show. But
it's Corvus's fault.
I blame Corvus.
Talking about Frostfang. Talking about Frostfang all the time, dude. You gotta cool it with the Frostfang.
I'm sorry, guys. I let you all down.
No music talk.
We'll talk about music next week when we talk about the story, and we'll talk about it a little bit in the post show. All right, guys, so if you're tuning in here on Twitch, please stay tuned, because we do have more to talk about in the post show, and we'll be answering your questions and such. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Please scroll down below and check out the links to all of our Twitch and YouTube and Twitters, and follow us all the places for more Guild Wars 2 content. And we will see you guys next week for some story and lore talk. It's going to be very exciting, I promise you. All right, guys, we'll see you in 1 week on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. All right, guys, take care. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.